Hello, my name is Scott Greer, and I'm a member of RTC's Enterprise Extensions team. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate significant improvements we've made to the usability of build subsets. We'll start by creating a subset. Let's say I'm a developer on a project whose dependency build is rather large, and I've been given a work item that involves changing just a file or two. I'm going to create a build subset to focus dependency build on those changes I make. So I go to my project, and under Enterprise Extensions, there's a folder for build subsets. Right-click on that and choose New Subset. Now you can see the first big change we've made. The old dialog has been replaced by an editor with a number of small design improvements. Subsets themselves haven't changed, so as you can see, I'm just going through the normal steps of giving my subset an ID or label and picking the build definition it's associated with. Now, just as before, I have a number of ways I can add buildable files to the subset. But in this case, I'm simply going to choose a work item so the list of files can be extracted from its change set. All of that is similar to the way subsets were created previously. However, as I said, in this case, this is really my own personal subset. And that's the point of these new ownership and visibility fields. Owner defaulted to me when I created this subset, so I'll leave that unchanged. Visibility defaulted to scoped, which is something we'll explain later, but since this is my own personal subset, I'm going to change visibility to private. After saving my new subset, it appears in a new folder we've introduced called My Subsets in the Team Artifacts Navigator. This new folder contains any subsets owned by me. At this point, I would typically begin using my subset by requesting dependency builds. We've introduced two new ways you can do that. First, you can right-click on the subset in the Team Artifacts Navigator and request a subset build. You can see that it's pre-configured to do a subset build of the one I chose. You can also request a subset build from within the new subset editor. So that's the creation of a subset for my development use. Now, let's create a subset that will be shared by members of a team and used to divide up the builds of a larger project. We create the subset in much the same ID and associate it with a build definition. We can still add buildable files in any number of ways, but for this example, we'll just manually add a few files to the subset. The big difference from before is that we're going to configure the subset to be owned by the project area associated with the build definition. The owner dialog allows you to choose a specific user, or you can click this checkbox to say that the subset is essentially owned by the team or project area that owns the build definition. Once I save my subset, you'll notice it now appears under a new folder we've introduced called Shared Subsets. This folder will contain any subsets not owned by you, but which are visible to you. If we go back to the visibility dialog, you'll see that there are only two values, private and scoped. So this controls whether a subset is visible and whether it shows up in the Shared Subsets folder. The other big change we're introducing is that we've added permissions for build subsets. These permissions control whether subsets can be created, modified, or deleted. These permissions are found in the project or team area under Process Configuration. There, in the Team Configuration section, you'll find all three of these new permissions. And as is the case with permissions in RTC, you can choose to grant these permissions for a given role. This ends our demonstration. We hope these improvements in the way subsets are created and used will be useful to you. Thanks.